Here are the do's and don'ts on electrical activities.
Treat every electrical devices like it is energized even though if it is not look like it is unplugged in a personal, because if they unplug or personal, they also have to be replaced. The reason why we need to be replaced is our electrical devices with a new one is that it's very difficult to do so. Unplug the appliances before performing any service. If you are not using smartphone, then you should unplug the appliances from your home and switch off all of them.
Third, when working on electrical devices, only use tools that have official, non-conducting handles. When working on electrical devices, we must ensure that the tools we are using is non-conducting in order to avoid shocks that may injure us when we are working. Fourth, try to limit the use of electrical equipment in rooms that are very cold or have a lot of condensation. Limit the usage of electrical equipment in cold temperature, since this precaution reduces the likelihood of accidents that result in current passing through the chest cavity.
5. When handling electrical equipment, make sure your hands are dry. We should always dry our hands before touching an electrical appliance, because water is not pure and the dissolved impurities are good conductors of electricity. Verse 6. If you spill any kind of liquid on electrical equipment, first, immediately shut off power to the equipment via the main switch or circuit breaker, and then unplug the equipment itself. Do not lift a piece of electrical equipment with a cord or pull the cord to disconnect from the outlet in order to prevent damage.
Number 7. Keep all electric circuit contact points enclosed. So, enclose all electric contacts and conductors so that no one can accidentally come into contact with them. Number 8. If you are able to work on electrical equipment with one hand while the other hand is out of the way at your side or in your pocket, this minimizes the chance of a current passing through your chest should a spark or accidental charge occur. So, never try or touch repairing any electrical equipment or circuits with wet hands.
First, safety on mind. Do not compromise safety. We should always put on our minds our safety, and it should be our number one priority when dealing electricity, since there are a lot of danger that will happen while working with electricity, such as electrocutions that may cause injury or death. Second, first and foremost, don't touch active electrical circuits. You should always be aware and do not touch active electrical circuit, since it may harm us and can lead to injuries and death. That is why we need to be responsible with our actions. Third, never touch electrical equipment when any part of your body is wet. When a part of your body is wet, you should not touch any electrical equipment, since you are prone to shock, since water is conductor and it can harm you when being disregarded. Fourth, do not store liquids of any sort near electrical equipment. Water is a great conductor of electricity, allowing current to flow more easily in wet conditions. And through wet skin, do not store liquids of any sort near electrical equipment. If a person comes into contact with an energized electrical conductor, do not touch the equipment, its cords, or the person affected, because the charge may pass to you. Fifth, if a person comes into contact with an energized electrical conductor, do not touch the equipment, its cords, or the person affected, because the charge may pass to you. Instead, shut down the main power source via the circuit breaker and then unplug the equipment using a leather belt. Touching the person who is in contact with energized electric conductor is a dangerous thing to do, since the charge may pass you and can also affect you. 6. Do not wear metal of any sort if you are working on electrical equipment. Metal is also a conductor, in which it can travel charge, and wearing or metal objects is dangerous for the person working, since the charge from the metal that travels can be transferred to the person's body that can cause injury or death. 7. Also, do not try to poke, probe, or fix electrical equipment with objects like pencils or rulers, because the metal in them can serve as a form of conductor. Rulers and pencils are a good conductor in which charge can pass easily, and when fixing equipment using those things can cause harm to the person using the equipment, since the charge may pass to the person from the pencil, ruler, or the metal.
Know the ship's electrical system and equipment is very important for us to know all the things about our own, especially cadets on board ship. And it's very important for them. Study the ship electrical diagram. We need to study the electrical diagram of a vessel, and that you will be aware of switches and wires in the power supply and the electrical equipment.
Third, familiarize the normal condition of the electrical indicators on the switchboard to easily detect the abnormalities. We need to have knowledge on how electrical indicators work so that we can differentiate the normal condition and detect the different abnormalities. Fourth, read and follow manufacturer's instruction for safe use of electrical equipment. Manufacturer's instructions provide us with technical information that can help from our risk assessment that will then allow us to develop suitable controls and wear protective equipment to protect us against the hazards associated to a machine or equipment.
Number 5. Follow workplace rules concerning the use of electricity and electrical equipment. Never handle electrical equipment when hands, feet, or body are wet or perspiring, or when standing on a wet floor. Remember, always use gloves and shoes. Number 6. Place safety tagging or other warning boards on the main switch before work. Alerting techniques must be used to warn and protect employees from electrical shock, hazards, burns, or failure of electric equipment parts.
Number 7. Inform officer of the watch before shutting down the equipment for maintenance. So, the officer must aware of the ability and conditions of the equipment. Number 8. Always treat circuit as live until you have proved them to be dead. The installation of the conductor may be defective. So, treat all electrical devices as if they are lit or energized. Disconnect the power source before servicing or repairing electrical equipment.
First, don't touch anything electric with wet hand. Never touch any electrical appliance with wet hands. Wet body can act as good conductor of electricity. In case of leakage, the person with wet hands will get shocked. Second, don't leave machinery or electrical equipment running unattended after working hours. Leaving machinery or electrical equipment running unattended may cause harm to the person who will use the equipment, since overused equipment may cause shock to the person who will use the equipment. Third, don't overload motors, circuits, or outlets. When an outlet overloads in the absence of a circuit breaker, the circuit wiring will overheat, making the wire insulation to melt, which can cause a fire. It can put a family, property, and the entire neighborhood at risk. Fourth, don't let cords get twisted and tangled. When allowed to tangle, these cables can cause tumbling, injuries, and pull down your electronics too. Electrical shocks, especially when cables wear out. Short circuits leading to electrical fires. Fifth, don't leave rotating parts exposed. Moving machine parts have the potential to cause severe workplace injuries, such as crushed fingers or hands, amputations, burns, or blindness. So safeguards are essential for protecting workers from these preventable injuries.